Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
Because you always use that active when defenders have been given like.
Am I live? Of course I'm live. Another day, another daily video from myself. People deluded, I'm back again. Jamaica shirt and all. As I was saying, people, first things first, appreciative of all of you lot have tuned in. Happy Monday. Hope last week was great for you. Hope the weekend was even better. And I hope this week is even better. I hope you're well and safe. I hope you're progressing in your personal and private lives. Hope you and your loved ones have your health. As usual, appreciative of you lot tuned in. If you're locking in for the first time, then make sure you've hit that like button, you're subscribed, you've got your notification bell on, and all of that good things. In relation to content and obviously Arsenal specific content and transfer news, make sure you're checking out the playlist on my channel, people. Enough waffling, enough rambling. Smash the like button. Let's see what's going on, as we, if we look at reports based on today, João Felix, Mudryk, Telemans, boy, we might just win the Tour de France and every flipping thing, really and truly. So yeah, pardon me, people, a bit gassy there. Let's get into it straight away, people. Let's get into it straight away. No need to waste time. Has my screen shared? No, it hasn't. Good save, because I looked. Now, Mudryk, everyone and their nan has, I don't even want to say, Chinese whispers in relation to it. Again, forgive me if that's an outdated term, but whispers, let's go with. Fabrizio Romano has said, Arsenal remains the leading side to sign Mudryk in January. Shakhtar will ask for important money. The director mentioned 100 million euros, but the feeling is that it can be a bit less than this. The reality is Arsenal are into it. Hopefully so, my guy. Hopefully. If we look at AFC stuff, shout out to all these Twitter accounts that do a good job relaying the news. Court offside have been informed by sources with close knowledge of the deal that 2 rounds of talks have been held by Arsenal with the rep of Danilo, though there is not yet an agreement with his club Palmeiras. Now, David Ornstein, check out my video that also came out today in relation to transfers. David Ornstein not played down Danilo to Arsenal, but kind of like suggested that talk there from Romano, whoever, is wide of the mark. We also know about Telemans. Apparently, he's likely to join us in the summer. Again, check out my last video and the playlist for stuff. A January move to bring Mudryk to Arsenal is looking increasingly likely, as Shakhtar Donetsk are thought to have indicated a willingness to back down from their public stance on the player's valuation. Some senior figures inside Arsenal are feeling increasingly optimistic about the potential signings of both Mudryk and Telemans. The club have agreed personal terms with both players. Now, for Telemans, if we were to do it in January, obviously we need to agree a fee with his club. For Mudryk, who not a free agent in the summer, and we want to bring in January, it's now finding an agreement with his club in relation to whatever fee or fees they want, upfront fee, bonuses, add-ons, the rest of it, people. And obviously, any other deals that Arsenal want to get moved on, because again, transfers at times can be moving pieces. I don't know if Mudryk or Telemans will sign in January or the summer. I don't know who else will sign if that, but sometimes you need to wait for progress with one transfer before you can make progress with something in the public eye like Mudryk. Be very disappointed if it doesn't happen, because everyone and their dog has had an opinion. We've got the Zinchenko's, Mr. and Mrs. doing their thing. We've got Mudryk doing social media, Twitter fingers, and giving interviews to anyone who will listen. I'm sure we'd all like someone that's 21 that can play out wide on both flanks with scope to grow. And with Jesus' injury, we'd like a lot. Like, if it's up to me, I'd like a striker, a winger, a central midfielder, which a winger and an 8 were probably the priorities. And I would like a left-sided centre-back. And I would keep an eye on the fullback areas, not so much the left-hand side with Zinchenko now, maybe right back. Cedric wants to go. Obviously, Tomiyasu can play all across the back 5, but we all know his thing with injuries. Ben White's doing great and looks, again, I don't want to say over his personal issues because we don't know. And whatever personal issues do we ever get through them in life? But he is linked up with Arsenal in Dubai, and apparently Saka and Martinelli and Partey and Tomiyasu, all of these players that played in the World Cup, Ramsdale, Turner, apparently they're all around. Whenever they start training, who knows? On the topic of Ukraine, Zinchenko's played down his injury stuff as well, people, and said he's calm. So it's looking all right. And again, for me, I want to wrap our players in cotton wool, specifically Tierney, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, Thomas Partey, on current form, Granit Xhaka, in light with what's going on with Jesus, is it? So yeah, it is what it is in that regards, people. Skipping a bit ahead, people, because we were speaking about Mudryk, people. I'm trying to find where I started with Mudryk. Apparently, Shakhtar Donetsk representatives have been in London this week discussing player sales. Now, sales, there's an important S. That might be Mudryk and someone else, whoever that is. Mainly focused on their brightest talent, Mudryk. Not just one club in the conversation, but at least 4. Good for Shakhtar, given how they've lost players for buttons because of the war. No sign of any imminent breakthrough, however. Talks could drag on well beyond the January window. Shakhtar well aware of the player's worth. I mean, that drives up the price, innit? And like I said, there's a lot of moving parts, really. Arsenal might even agree a fee and agree personal terms with Mudryk, but there might be other clubs complicating things. Like we saw in the summer, we were allegedly close to signing him. Brentford were as well. Newcastle were about. And in the months that have followed, you know, he's hardly done his reputation any bad, just performing, really, especially in the champs. So we'll have to see. But once again, his reps have been in London this week discussing player sales, mainly focused on their brightest talent, Mudryk, not just one club in the picture. And once again, you can see it there, people, everyone and their nan. Shakhtar's hand is a bit weakened. Depends on who will pay 60 to 80 million pounds in January. Deal can be agreed for less than the rumored 100 million price tag, says David Ornstein, and relayed by Adam Crafton of The Athletic, people. Again, the Shakhtar Donetsk director said, who wants to sign Mudryk has to pay big amount of money. Otherwise, our president will not sell him. Jack Grealish was sold for more than 100 million and Mudryk's level is not lower. So they think highly of their talent, people. Some key parts from David Ornstein's article, which again, I covered in the last video that's come out. So make sure you check that. Or depending on how your viewing analytics are, you've probably seen in the top left or right-hand corner suggested videos from myself. And at the end of this video, you'll see a bunch of suggested videos to go to. So yeah, check out the playlist, smash the like button, subscribe. Don't forget to comment during this premiere and also after, if you catch it on the rerun. You lot make this platform what it is. But some key points: weighing up whether to enter the frame for Matheus Cunha. Arsenal's priority target is Shakhtar Donetsk winger Mudryk. Danilo is not thought to be a target, so depending on where you read is where Danilo is concerned, isn't it, really? Apparently, Mudryk's teammates believe he's already signed for Arsenal, and I think some Arsenal fans at this point, if he's not in Dubai, were vexed. He turns 22 in January. And apparently, you know, it is what it is. Some of his teammates believe such. Now, again, they don't live in a bubble. They know the rumors. They know their players talented. They see his interviews, and you know, there's probably a lot of banter flying around in the changing room. Apparently, a goalie of Shakhtar Donetsk said, I like that he's only focused on himself, his and the team's game. Fans don't really see that much. No one sees what he's doing away from the football field. All these transfer rumors affect him only in a positive way, obviously, because he enjoys what he does. And in the team, we tell him, well, you're already at Arsenal, let's all go. And that's a bit of banter behind it as well, people. Shakhtar Donetsk star Mudryk has already given Arsenal his answer as transfer talks continue over a possible deal. He has said, I think every guy dreams about the Premier League. Arsenal's a very good team with a very good coach. I like the way they play. It'd be hard to say no to Arsenal. I can't say no, but the transfer is not only my decision. Exactly. Arsenal have to deem, are they prepared to put the money down? You have to agree a fee with Shakhtar Donetsk. And for them, you know, when you own any item, you know, especially there's some sentimental value. He's a homegrown product. He's come through. Not that he's not worth every penny, allegedly, but you always overestimate that, you know, whether you see that in business, much less football. So it's down to these key parties to come to an agreement. So we'll have to see, people. And he did give a previous interview with Zinchenko's wife. One surprise for me was how many Arsenal fans followed me. No other club fans have interacted as much as them, telling me they are waiting for me, saying, come to us. One of my recent posts has over 500 comments saying that. So I think every Arsenal fan should be due a percentage when this deal cuts through on Shakhtar's end, not Arsenal's. You know, a little 5% for the fans, because we're doing our part for you, really and truly. And again, we've seen this, but some senior figures are increasingly optimistic about the potential signing of both Mudryk and Tielemans. Allegedly, personal terms have been agreed. You know, for Tielemans, it's more just agreed the contract now, and get him in the summer. For Mudryk, as I keep saying, we need to come to agreement with his club in it. So it all depends where you read in that regards, people. Moving away from that, Arsenal lead a 5-team race to sign João Felix through his agent George Mendes, though his agent is pushing for him to join Aston Villa. Some reports have come out and said they're not really on that, really. He's not really, the 23-year-old ain't really on going Aston Villa, despite his agent having great relations with the owners and obviously Unai Emery. So we'll have to see, really. Marca reported that the Premier League table toppers, I like the sound of that, are the front runners to sign Felix ahead of Manchester United, Chelsea, Villa, and Paris Saint-Germain. We'll have to see because this is all whispers, really. We don't know. As I said, he has a strong relationship, the agent of Felix, with Villa's owners. So we'll have to see. Felix would fit Arsenal like a glove, really, but we'll have to see. It depends what we're paying. It is likely that any club looking to sign Felix will have to invest big money on the Portugal star, who is contracted until 2026. Atletico, they signed him for 114 million back in 2019. So you are people. Some Premier League sides believe he could be available on loan, people, but others feel a permanent transfer is more realistic. As you know, he's been unsettled for some time, people. So we're going to have to see how that one specifically develops. Arsenal are very attentive to Felix movements. João Felix is an objective for Aston Villa owing to their financial potential. However, Felix isn't attracted to the team and the city and prefers a club with more substance and history. A bit harsh. They've won Champions League more than us, but I'm here for that. Apparently, George Mendes is expected in England this week to hold talks with Manchester United, Chelsea, Villa, and Newcastle about João Felix. No mention of Arsenal there, who apparently in 2 windows prior, we've tried to sign him, people. Atletico and Wolves do not have a full agreement for Felipe or Matheus Cunha. Obviously, that in terms of is one thing maybe where the Arsenal-related rumours came from, but obviously Cunha can play up front, probably better out wide or just behind the striker. So that, and obviously with Jesus' injury, we've been linked with his countrymen. I'm sure Matteo Guendouzi could give a good character reference because he crossed paths with him at Hertha Berlin. Not too sure with how it ended for him. Arteta will take him up on that offer. So it is what it is, people. João Felix will be joining team training at the end of the week in relation to Atletico Madrid. I mean, he's contracted. He has to. They've set an asking price of 140 million euros. Felix is very ambitious and wants to join a top club, the best project and the most prestigious, where he can be the protagonist and grow to the maximum. Which, all right, that's cool. And previously today, we saw Arsenal take the lead in the race to sign João Felix. So we'll have to see. See, I'm already adding the little Felix. Come to the club, bro. Again, it seems like it's more agent-led with Aston Villa to João Felix. I'm not sure, I'm not sure Aston Villa fans will care as long as you get the player in it, really. Final sprint for João Felix. Arsenal take the lead. As you can see here, people, once again, at this point, we already know the key information. The CEO of Atletico has said, more or less come out and said he's leaving. George Mendes is trying to find his client and clients, if you include Ronaldo and a couple of others, to get them new clubs and whatnot, really and truly. So whether we get him is one thing or another. Scrolling past, but there is more like Arsenal that seems to be taking the lead now that the Premier League is fighting again, and even Aston Villa, as Marca revealed, has him among its objectives with the arrival of Emery and Fake's economic potential. They almost wanted more, so we'll have to see. Bayern Munich tried to get him in the summer, so we'll have to see really and truly how this one there develops. But that is in relation to João Felix, Cunha, and Cole, people. Leicester allegedly are braced for Arsenal to make a final attempt to snap up Telemans in January. Arsenal have been monitoring Telemans' future closely and are ready to test Leicester's resolve in January. Any decent offer will be very tempting for Leicester, of course, because either you do that or you don't pay the fees. Ben Jacobs has said, Shakhtar, the next director of football, tells me any club wanting to sign Mudryk must spend a lot of money. Shakhtar are saying they probably want 100 million euros. But as previously reported, sources say privately they'll entertain offers of 60 million. Arsenal remain the leading club to sign Mudryk. The price will be less than 100 million euro price tag, but will be a significant sum. All about finding agreement with Shakhtar. Arsenal are into it and in contact to get it done, says Fabrizio Romano. He's also said in relation to João Felix, nothing advanced with any club for Felix. Arsenal have been informed of his situation now that Jesus is injured, people. And again, tomorrow, people, I will be doing a watch along for AC Milan against Arsenal. Same way we'll be doing one for the semi-finals of the World Cup. So bear that in mind. Make sure you've turned on your notifications. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. You're checking out your YouTube community tab, or you're following me on Instagram, Deluded Gooner 04. So you don't miss a beat, really. And turn on your notifications. Don't rely on them though, because they will do you dirty. So yeah. We've seen this before again. So they rate Mudryk quite highly. After Mbappe and Vinny Jr., he's the best player in this position. So if someone wants to buy Mudryk, they must spend a lot of money. Crazy. He's also said Mudryk doesn't like the comparisons. I am not the Ukrainian Neymar. I don't like that nickname. I am the Ukrainian Mudryk. Fair enough. He certainly sees how hard I work every day. I just want to keep improving, and in the winter we'll see. Fair enough, my dude. Fair enough, my dude. We ain't been linked with Rashford, but that's his contract stuff going on there. So I don't think I've missed anything really, people. Well, Arsenal considering move for Matheus Cunha after Jesus blow, which was first reported by David Ornstein, people. The 23-year-old missed out on a World Cup place. Apparently, Wolves, long story short, as we've seen, Wolves were optimistic of signing him, but that seems to have hit a snag. It can still happen, but it's hit. There's been a spanner in the works. And now Arsenal are monitoring the situation. Arsenal should be monitoring everyone, João Felix, Cunha, anyone who can play in similar positions to Jesus, and we can take advantage of the situation, because we might go as far as we can for Felix. He says, you know what, I actually want to go PSG. You need another plan, really. It's a bit like last Jan where I said we can try as much as we want for Vlahovic. I like it. I admire it. I somewhat even admire that Arsenal are not signing people for the sake of it, but fundamentally, we tried only go so far. You need to make things happen, and that goes for central midfield for me as well, because we're playing a dangerous game. But I think that's it in relation to Cunha, Mudryk, João Felix, every other one. And earlier today we're also linked with Zaha and these players. By the time I get a chance to look at transfer news at an extended rate, we'll probably be linked with some other dons. So on that note, I'm gonna love and leave you lot. People, I appreciate all the support for the content, and I'm very appreciative of what we've grown in this platform, but the journey has just started. Make sure you're following on Twitch, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, turn your notifications on, hit the like button, comment your opinions, and most importantly, stay blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you lot soon, people. I'm out. God bless you all.
There's always just that active red flag. Defenders, I think, like.
Easy, 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 easy.